Hello. Hope everybody's doing well today. Hello, Firefall. Hello, Shred. Hello, everybody else in chat. I wanted to apologize ahead of time. I am under a bit of work duress. So I took a nap after work and I suddenly eating shit for it. I hope everyone's, like I said, as well. But basically what had happened was that there was a fucking ton of workplace drama that can be easily fucking avoided. One of my coworkers is asking for accommodations. Management's not listening. She went off on a tirade, started throwing me and a bunch of coworkers under the bus. One of my coworkers got, when one of my other coworkers got vehemently drunk. Started calling me last night while I was trying to enjoy card night. And today was just tense. Like like it, like I was just anxious all day. Like it's just nervous. So then after work, I took a nap, and unfortunately, lost track of time. So for that, I apologize. No, I gave them my number like a year ago because we were trying to collaborate and like get together, like for like after work, chicken wings. No, I get that, man. That's probably like the smart thing to do, but like I trust the drunk coworker, but he was going shiny Alpha Pikachu to using champions. Is champions free? I forgot. Anyways, how's it going, Vimo? How's it going, little chick? It is free? Okay. Court is back in session for the trial of Damien Tenma. Apollo Justice Defense Team Leader is ready, Your Honor. Tired, how are you? Same. Data Sex Assistant Defender is ready too, Your Honor. I was trying to play the finers, but the green man is busy. You don't need me. I just make things worse. Stripper as ever, I see, and in French no less. And the prosecution? Back in chains. That's what makes it funny. Also true. You know, I could just as easily end stream now, but I think Gumbo would get fucking pissed off at me because he's not awake, I think. Very well then. By the way, I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There will be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackwell. Now your opening statement, if you would. I believe it's standard procedure for the prosecution to handle it. Looks like the judge is really bringing it today. You probably realized how Blackwell played him. That was one mean game of Simon Says. Yeah, his honor has to fight to defend his honor today. They can only mimic final so much. Just play flamethrower and only heavy. There you go. Your baldness. It's plain to see that you've always dreamed of delivering an epic opening statement. I have? I don't know if I'd say that. Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement. And immediately playing. That was the look of one who yearns deeply for the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now, you've been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court. The one thing you could not possess. Crown jewels? Of the court? Now at long last they are within your grasp. How could you possibly refuse? Oh, so you don't mind if I do it then? I'll make a special exception. Just this once. Damn, he's fucking played the judge. I don't remember the Falcon's name, or the Hawk's name. I think it was Xerxes. Or is that Family Guy? Here we go again. Yep, more of Black Quill's mind games. Well, in that case, I think I might go ahead and make the opening statement myself. In yesterday's session, we learned the shocking truth that the victim, Alderman Rex Cuby, was the amazing Ninetales. We also learned that Amazing Ninetales was a key figure in the yokai craze and anti-merger protests. It was further revealed that upon learning Rex Cuby's secret identity, Mayor Denimi Tenma murdered him. The fact that crime took place in a tightly locked room was also brought to light. And the only people in that tightly locked room were the defendant and victim. The defense proposed the existence of a hypothetical third party. Further investigation revealed no proof of a third party who had escaped the room. Ergo, we must conclude that the evidence against the defendant is, well, conclusive. Eek! Did I say something wrong? Sorry. I still got that annoying after cold cough. It was quite astonishing. You've truly outdone yourself this time. Oh, hey. One more thing to boast about to my grandchild. I thought he had multiple. Well, this was not an unexpected turn of events. Now then, it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify. The inexplicable yokai evidence left at the scene of the crime. Well, does that not demand some sort of explanation? The feathers and tracks? When those left by the mayor while he was possessed? That was about an act to protect his daughter. Oh, yes, of course. I had suspected as much. Wait, did he actually believe the mayor's award-winning performance? His daughter was the one who planted the yokai evidence. Ergo, the true identity of the yokai in the manor was the manor's maid, Jinxie Tenma.
Objection!
The prosecution is engaging in mere conjecture. Would you care for some witness testimony then? Hello, Gumbo. For I am ready to prove that the little scamp is the one behind the Tenma Taro farce. Witness testimony? I'll bet he means Filch and that creep LaBelle. Very well then. Bailiff, would you bring in the first witness? Mr. Filch, you made quite the hasty exit yesterday. See that it doesn't happen again today. I've been known for my hasty retreats since I was a kid. Bit of a trademark of mine. Indeed, you managed to give a total of 5 bailiffs the slip. Like those amateurs could ever nab me. Yipes! Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place. No, please. I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running. Your statement, now. Yes, sir. Mr. Blackhead, sir. He may beat a hasty retreat, but there's no escaping Prosecutor Blackwell. Yeah, Blackwell doesn't strike me as a give-up-easy type. Now then, Mr. Filch, your testimony, please. Specifically, the true nature of the yokai you saw in the manor shortly after the crime. Oh, thank you for that, Drake. I have a hard lemonade today. Tenmataro is really that little maid gal. Ain't no doubt about it. I mean, the Tenmataro I saw is just a little thing about her size. But Little Runt had a big old staff. I seen it when she came into the foyer. Bet she stole from the Forbidden Chamber after stumbling on the crime scene. She was gonna use it to wallop me on account of my fierce reputation, I just know it. So Tenmataro was short in stature. That's because it was Miss Jinxie Tenma all along? You betcha. Besides, all the rest in the manor were way taller than her. Feigning height is but an easy thing. But a big ox like the defendant could never pass for short. What if the Tenmataro impersonator was walking on their knees? Or no knee walking. I'd seen it myself. And then perhaps that yokai really wasn't Miss Tenma after all. All monsters are not but tricks, either the mind or the cheap parlor variety. So you're saying she created an illusion like one of those magical eye things? Precisely. Human senses are easily deceived. Take the fellow in the cell next to me. Each night he cries and screams about some ghost he thinks he sees. But in truth, it was simply the janitor. Oh, Prosecutor Blackwell just gave up the ghost, literally. The janitor's deathly complexion and all-white attire are, no doubt, partially to blame. And the fact that he constantly mutters about taking vengeance for this or that. That actually sounds like a real ghost to me. Defense may now cross-examine the witness. Little maid gal. Mr. Filch, you and Mr. LaBelle mentioned something about a practice yesterday. Do you know this so-called lesson was about what you were supposed to say in court? No, you got it all wrong. Then could you tell the court exactly what sort of lesson it was? Oh, it was, what was it again? Now I remember. Math, you know, numbers and stuff. He's completely under Blackwell's control, too. Anyway, that Tenmataro was that little maid gal, so what's the difference? I mean, Tenmataro I saw was just, okay, about her size. I take it you got a good look at how tall the Tenmataro impersonator was? Hey, you betcha. I got a habit of sizing people up. I can even give you a primer on how to pull it off. All under the table, natch. I got a knack for figuring out where people's pockets are, and how much money they have. I says I'm real good before I leave them of their valuables. You just admitted to being a pickpocket right here in court. Does the witness hold that this Tenmataro entered the foyer? Darn right I do. Well, Little Runt had a big old staff. I seen when she came into the foyer.
Hold it!
Well, you're not going to brush it all off by claiming the purple short. Eh, must have hit a raw nerve because he ain't that tall myself. Or yourself. Look who's talking. I've got to stand on a box just to testify. Hold on a second. Sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong. But didn't you say the Tenemataro you saw had a staff? Cross my heart, hope to die. I know it because it went jingle and a jangle. Where do you suppose that staff came from? The staff you say? Well, bet you she stole it from the Forbidden Chamber after stumbling on the crime scene.
Hold it!
I suppose you mean to say that Jinxie Tenma entered the Forbidden Chamber to get one. Well, I ain't never seen a staff like that in the manor. So it had to be the Forbidden Chamber. Oh, really? The stench of a bell is thick in the air today. Jinxie entered the Forbidden Chamber after the incident. Then she took the staff and tried to cover up her actions by pretending to be Tenemataro. Guess that's what Phil just trying to say. Sorry. Could Jinxie have even entered the Forbidden Chamber if she wanted to? There is one thing I was wondering about. Why did that yokai have a staff in the first place? Well, I've got my hunches about that. She was gonna use it to wallop me on the account of my fierce reputation. I just know it.
Hold it!
Wallop you? And why would the so-called yokai want to do that? That little maid gal never did like me. She always hightails it when I come around, or she sticks these weird papers on my noggin. She probably thinks of him as a dreaded Tanuki monster of QB Manor or something. We need to prove that Jinxie isn't Tenemataro. I have no idea we're gonna do that. All we have to do is prove that it was impossible for Jinxie to turn into Tenemataro. And that might be easier than you think. Really? Now's our chance. Our chance to expose the real Tenemataro for all to see. Oh. No, Vimo.
Objection!
No combo. It would seem that Tenemataro was in fact not this innocent little girl. Huh? How you figure that? Claim the Tenemataro you saw had one of those staffs from the Forbidden Chamber. But it would have been possible for Miss Tenma to get a hold of one. Care to elaborate, Mr. Justice? The mayor swallowed this key shortly after the murder. He wanted to keep the killer out of the Forbidden Chamber. What's this? This key was deep in the mayor's stomach when Miss Tenma discovered the crime scene. So you see, it would have been impossible for her to get into the Forbidden Chamber. In short, the Tenemataro seen holding that staff could not have been Jinxie Tenma. Back. What? But then who does the defense believe was impersonating Tenemataro? Our Tenemataro impersonator is none other than Mayor Tenma's aide. Such accusations beg evidence. Aside from his ghastly appearance, can you prove he is the yokai we seek? Yes, in fact, I can. Very well then. Let's see where the defense is going with this. Mr. Justice, please show us proof as to the true identity of the Tenemataro impersonator.
Take that!
We found this hand cream in the Forbidden Chamber. And we know that whoever was Tenemataro took one of the staves out of there. In short, I believe whoever this hand cream belongs to is the yokai impersonator we're looking for. But Mr. Justice, how do you propose to identify the hand cream's owner? I'm glad you asked, Your Honor. The defense requests a fingerprint analysis on this piece of evidence. It might tell us who it belongs to. Interesting. So you expect to find the yokai's prints there? Very well, I hereby call a short recess while we wait for the fingerprint results. No need for that, your baldness. We have the prints of everyone at the manor that day. You called Prosecutor Blackwell? Can anyone be more whipped? Fulbright. Analyze this for prints. You have 3 minutes. Your wish is my command. Very well then. I guess we'll just wait just right here. We've seen the fingerprints analysis complete. I love the bird bringing evidence. It's adorable. What did the results show? What in the world? They're Florent LaBelle prints, aren't they? This is absurd. It's really weird to me when his eyes get bright. Prosecutor Blackwell? I'm not gonna like this, am I? Don't tell me. They're Tenmataro's prints? Fingerprint analysis reveal that the prints belong to... Phineas Filch.
Objection!
Wait, what? What? Then Mr. LaBelle wasn't the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber?
Objection!
Why, you tricksy little Tanuki. Explain yourself now. Sure, them prints are mine. I mean, I did pilfer that hand cream from Mr. LaBelle after all. So you're the one who entered the Forbidden Chamber? So what if I did? Got a problem with it? Yipes! You fool of a Tanuki. Order, order! Mr. Justice, care to explain what this could mean? Excellent question. The fact that Mr. Filch was in the Forbidden Chamber... Wait a second. Does this mean the Tenmataro holding that staff was... Phineas Filch? Yipes! Another cat out of the bag. Mr. Filch is Tenmataro. I don't understand. Does this mean Mr. Filch is the real killer? The witness will explain himself this instant. Begging your pardon, your honorship, but I was just doing what the alderman told me. He wanted me to be Tenmataro in the village exorcism ritual. You mean that event at the Nine Tails Veil Festival? That was you inside the Tenmataro costume. Yep. And after the event, I went to watch that pro wrestling program. But it bored me to tears on account of the wrestlers being complete jobbers. So I didn't actually watch the entire wrestling match. That's when I looked at the Tenmataro costume and got a great idea. Nobody can tell it's me while I'm wearing it. And because of them superstitions, no matter what I do, the villagers won't say a word. In other words, you use the superstitions to effectively render yourself invisible. Why did you want to enter the Forbidden Chamber in the first place? Because of the treasure there. Thought that was my big chance to sneak on in and nab it. Treasure. Only that it's the greatest Get Rich Quick chance in the universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. He went in there not knowing his grandfather had already pilfered it? Guess that's one tale that didn't get passed down from grandpappy to grandson. Wait, How exactly did you get into the Forbidden Chamber? There was a meeting in the Fox Chamber that day. Plus, the mayor swallowed the only key that could open the Forbidden Chamber's door. You couldn't have possibly gotten in. I could through the air vent in the foyer. The vents left to the alderman's pitcher. I went on in and made a nice little hole. I used that to get into the air duct that leads into the Forbidden Chamber, I did. You what? But how's that even possible? Wait a sec. Remember that air vent in the Forbidden Chamber? So Mr. Felch found a way to get into that air duct. And that's how we got from the foyer vent to the Forbidden Chamber vent? So Tinemataro was nothing more than a cat burglar. Or rather, a Tanuki burglar. Now we're back to being without anyone to charge for the alderman's murder. Looks like our so-called yokai is nothing more than one big troublemaker. Tell me, Mr. Filch, what did you do after fleeing to the foyer? I got out of that costume right quick. Would have just caused trouble at that point. And where's that costume now? Heck if I know. And it ain't my fault if you never find it. The police searched every nook and cranny. No yokai costume was left in that manor. What if it was tossed outside the manor? Ah. No way. But maybe, just maybe. Ben seems to have hit upon an idea. Well, go on, Mr. Justice. Okay, here's what I think. Mr. Filch, did you get rid of the costume here?
Take that!
Did you toss it out the window? Because that would certainly explain why it didn't turn up inside the manor. You think I tossed it out the window? That costume cost me a pretty penny. So why would I go do something like that? I can think of a few reasons. Any bright ideas, Apollo? Well, assuming the costume really was tossed out from the window, the next question would be, what happened to it after that? And if I'm right, I might have just the thing to prove what happened to it, the costume. Phineas Filch, I have just the evidence for you. You do? This evidence proves you got rid of your Tinemataro costume through the window.
Take that!
That's... Tinemataro flying through the sky? Just how does that prove Mr. Filch threw his costume out the window? It's quite simple. That's not Tinemataro in the photo. It's the costume Mr. Filch threw out. Oh, that's crazy talk. You ain't serious, are you? There's a steep cliff right outside the foyer window, meaning the manor is pretty high up. The costume flew through the air after it was tossed out. That's when the photo was taken. In other words, the photo of Tinemataro really was a flight of fancy. What? Yikes. Oh my. So there really never was a yokai. Oh, I can't keep any of them cats bagged. Can I still file a claim for the lost costume? This more than proves the defense's position. Jinxie Tenma had nothing to do with the staging of the yokai sighting. Can I raise any objections, Prosecutor Blackwell? None whatsoever. I'll deal with that Trixie Tanuki after I've dealt with this case. We did it. Good going. Now all we have to do is make Florent and LaBelle take the stand.
Objection!
Sheathing the sword a bit earlier, are we not? Huh? Nothing has been proven beyond a doubt. Take this tricksy little Tanuki, for instance. How do you suppose he was able to exit the forbidden chamber? Probably the same way he got in. The chamber's air vents. And what are the feathers and tracks at the scene of the crime? It was suggested that Tanuki exited through the chamber door, not the air vent.
Objection!
But the forbidden chamber doesn't open from the inside. So what you're saying makes no sense. Right? Someone on the outside opened the door for you? Isn't that right? Yeah, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly sprung right open.
Hold it!
Sprung right open? Who was on the other side? Didn't get a good look on account of the sudden glare. Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging from the dark. That's when I snatched that staff and made my daring escape. And that little maid gal spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall. That means the forbidden chamber wasn't open until after the crime was discovered. But wait. I still don't know who opened it. Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox chamber.
Objection!
Well, you little Tanuki. When the forbidden chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there? Nope. Only one there was the alderman, and he was dead as a doornail. The accused wasn't there. What do you suppose he was up to? Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going. Don't tell me. Plainly, the only one who could have opened the forbidden chamber was the accused Damien Tenma.
Hold it!
Wait a second. There had to be somebody else besides Mayor Tenma there. Really? And who might that be? Oh, that would be...
Objection!
Seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence. I didn't forget. I was just testing your attention to details. Miss Sykes, you can't prove your point without proof of some sort. It's a proven fact. It's alright. Guess I put my foot in my mouth again. No, Athena. We're definitely onto something here. We are? Think about it. If Filch was stuck inside the forbidden chamber, one of the alibis we heard about would no longer hold any water. The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand. Someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the forbidden chamber. And by virtue of knowing this, has an alibi that no longer adds up. Ah, not that insufferable. Very well. The court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say. Whose alibi no longer adds up? Phoenix Wright. Shit, he's older than me now.
Take that!
Why, that's the defendant's aide, Florent LaBelle. Didn't he claim to be in the foyer at the time of the crime? True, but in his alibi, he also claimed Mr. Filch was in the foyer too. However, as we all know, Mr. Filch was not there with Mr. LaBelle at the time. In short, Mr. LaBelle's alibi has disappeared. Florent LaBelle's alibi was one big lie. I fucking love this song. Isn't that right, Mr. Filch? I reckon there ain't no keeping that cat in the bag here neither. It was all Mr. LaBelle's idea. He told me he'd button his lip about me breaking into the forbidden chamber. And in return, he said we'd vouch for each other's alibi. Shame on you, Mr. Filch. Perjury is a serious crime, you know. Ah, shucks. Mercy, your honorship, mercy. Ah! I also asserted that the person who opened the forbidden chamber for Mr. Filch was none other than Florent LaBelle. After all, his alibi has just been proven to be a complete fabrication. I see. We will take a 20-minute recess. After which time we will see what Mr. Bell has to After which time we will see what Mr. LaBelle has to say for himself. Yes. Finally gonna drag that slippery snake onto the stand. In the meantime, the prosecution will question Mr. LaBelle about these new allegations. We did it, Apollo. We finally dragged Mr. LaBelle into court. Yeah. Hey, why the long face? I can't help but feel I'm missing something important. Plus, Prosecutor Blackwell is bound to mount a counterattack. You really are a worrywart, aren't you? It'll be fine. That mystery figure who opened the forbidden chamber for Mr. Filch had to have been Florent LaBelle. I know. That's not what's bugging me. I wish I could put my finger on it, though. At any rate, the big showdown with Mr. LaBelle is up next. So chin up, Apollo. Holy shit, my text-to-speech is lagging behind. Shit, man. Oh, now his hair is green. Court is back in session. Our next witness is... Yes, I'm acting on behalf of the mayor in this very important matter. Seems the witness is predisposed at the moment. Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise. Remember that. Oh, my deepest apologies. This is Florent LaBelle, personal aide to Mayor Tenma. Or should I say, the accused. Ouch, like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough. What business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible. Your baldness? Alright, Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi. And for this reason, you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand. To think I'd be associated with this entirely lurid affair. Well, I'm not, so may I go now? I have very important matters to attend to.
Objection!
I don't think so, Mr. LaBelle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed? Witness, you are being accused of perjury. This is your chance to clear the air. Fine. The truth is I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Sorry. God, I want to punch him. You think this is funny? Without your alibi, you were a suspect too. What were you really doing at the time of the crime? Peasant. How dare you accuse me, one of the beautiful people, of being... Stop stalling and tell the court what you were really doing at the time of the crime.
Silence!
Enough jabbering. Swords have been drawn, the time for talk has passed. Swords? What swords? This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests in our hands. Begone, ye of cowardly heart. The battlefield hath no place for ye. Again? Did he break his shackles again? Spare me, please. So much for sturdier shackles. Those chains hindered my vow that heads would roll this day. This gives keeping your head on in court a whole new meaning. Will the witness please deliver the accused death knell? You know of what I speak. Most certainly. His goose is already cooked. Time to stick a fork in him. Whatever he has to say can't be good. As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess, I rushed right over to the Fox chamber when I heard little Jinxie scream. What? Then, drumroll please, I saw Mayor Tenma opening the forbidden chamber doors. But there you have it. The mystery man who opened the chamber door, as witnessed by one Phineas Filch, was the accused. There was never any third party. Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime. Startling sounds bad. The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie. I killed the alderman. That's right, the mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there. He confessed? Order in the court. This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands. Just so, and quite astonishing, I might add. I only learned of this fact during the recess. I just love surprises, don't you? That's why I saved the best for last. Consider it a gift from me to you. No way. I don't believe Mr. LaBelle heard the mayor confess. But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess? It is indeed. During that last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess. That testimony is quite favorable to the prosecution's. This is LaBelle. Yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right, and I'll be calling my little shindig Mayor Tenma's Conviction Gala. A splendid time is guaranteed for all by the mayor and his defense. Aha! Well, as it seems our witness is a very busy man, let's get right to his testimony. Mr. LaBelle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime. I can't wait to put this guy away. I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows. That's when I heard the confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor came to, stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right. To the one with the phone at the end. I must say, this is a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. Do you think the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crime? Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter. You do realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court. Once again, sorry. It's just, I feared of being accused if I mentioned it upon coming at the most unpleasant scene. Ugh, why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy? We better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty. As a death row inmate once told me in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield. A time to live and a time to die. Ugh. He's laying it on real thick now. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
When's the time to shoot the guy? Soon, I hope. You claim that the mayor confessed to his daughter. Are you sure about that? Peasant! You wouldn't dare such ask a question if you truly understood. True beauty is never wrong. It's not? No, beauty is carved deep in the DNA. It means I'm programmed to always be right, even when I'm wrong. This is one of the exact reasons I always hated popular kids in school. I'm not following. These exquisite ears like flowers abloom. These eyes that shine like pearls. His hair is like the finest silk. Nothing can corrupt the truth they hold. Right. The witness will hurry up and explain this truth of his. Specifically, what did Jinxie Tenma do upon hearing the confession? On learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me.
Hold it!
How did Miss Tenma appear to you? Oh, the poor little thing seemed positively heartbroken, all teary-eyed and whatnot. I couldn't help but shed a few tears myself after seeing her like that. You actually sympathize with Jinxie? Seems like an overly human emotion for him. Yeah, because he's the only real monster we've seen so far. And looks and in character. The next thing I did was check my face in the mirror. Checked your face, why? To behold the beauty that is my sadness, why else? God, that irritates me. Apollo, I'm starting to lose all faith in humanity. I don't know the feeling, but hang in there. I'll at least keep faith in our client. Let's keep this moving, shall we? So what happened next? Immediately after that, the mayor came to, stood up and opened the forbidden chamber.
Hold it!
He opened the forbidden chamber? Or why would he do that? Who knows? Maybe he wanted to free the demon Tenmataro?
Objection!
Court room is no place for fairy tales. Remember, you are under oath. Hello, LaBelle speaking. Yes, I will certainly explore the matter. Toodles. Now, where were we again? You're going to tell us the real reason why the mayor opened the forbidden chamber. Oh yes, of course. Hello, this is LaBelle. Aha! Good one, sir. You're an absolute riot. Okay, bye. You were saying? Never mind. This is a waste of time. You're just gonna tell more lies. The witness will focus on his testimony, not his phone calls. I'll tell the court what you did after you saw the mayor open the forbidden chamber. Well, after that... As it ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison.
Hold it!
What was Mr. Felch like at the time? You're shouting, I can't see, I can't see. It's the curse of Tenmataro. Then he took off running like a madman. Must have been blinded by the sudden light flooding in. Wrong. What? He said eyes upon me. I was thus blinded by my radiant beauty. fuck's sake. So, it was the curse of the Florent LaBelle rather than Tenmataro? Yes, I'm afraid such beauty could be a curse. That's almost criminal. The only thing criminal here is your ceaseless jabbering. Now get on with your testimony. Oh, forgive me, your darkness. Let's see. Oh yes, I fled for dear life from Tenmataro and... in shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end.
Hold it!
So after you fled into the hallway with the phone at the end, Tenmataro ran off towards the foyer? Precisely. Are there any inconsistencies, Apollo? But Jinxie also saw Tenmataro, right? She did. She said they passed each other in the hall after she made that call to the police. Well, if LaBelle had fled down the hall where that phone is, Jinxie would have seen him when she was returning from making her call. Oh, right. And if she saw him, she would have definitely asked him for help. Right. It just doesn't make any sense. Time to review the... okay. Blah, 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 blah. We gotta find something. I think this is the one.
Objection!
Lauren LaBelle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway. Ahaha. What on earth do you mean? Is care to fill out with the rest of us, Mr. Justice? If Mr. LaBelle had really flown down the hall with a phone in it, you would have crossed paths with Miss Tenma. What's this? After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. And then after making her call, she went back to the main hallway. Whereupon she encountered the demon, yokai, or whatever it is you want to call it. As for me, I'd call it Phineas Filch in a Tenmataro costume. The encounter happened right here, where the hallways meet. As for Mr. LaBelle, if he had fled here, feigning escape from the yokai imposter, well yes, the two would have crossed paths. Right, except Miss Tenma told us that there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there. Ah, my eyes. My beautiful eyes. Ah, not such a fabulous scent now, is it? But Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. He was lying about hearing the confession from the hall. And where was he when he heard it? Inside the Fox Chamber, where else? But isn't that within the very crime scene? It is, Your Honor. And that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time. What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence!
Foolish fop. A true man knows when he is beaten. A shield of lies comes to naught before a foe with the sword of truth bared. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side. You are mistaken. There are no sides here save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and sickly sweet perfume. Whoa, what just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him. You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not, you deviant dandy? But the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki. Without either of them noticing you were right there in the fox chamber. Oh, my. So that's how it's going to be. Fine, I'll come clean then. Seriously? You admit to being there in the fox chamber? I do. I did enter the room after the murder. But I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible at lying like that. But it's a verbal cologne I use to protect myself. You better explain yourself, Mr. LaBelle. Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that. The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies. I did enter the fox chamber after the murder. But I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the screen. From behind the screen? Why, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spotted if you were there. Just so. You can see everything without being spotted by the victim or Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events, rather than the actual third party. This guy's as slippery as an eel. Apollo, you think he's telling the truth? Well, he was in the fox chamber, so at least that much must be true. Hence may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness. Really? Why'd you have to say that?
Hold it!
Why in the world would you enter that grisly crime scene? Why? Because I was worried sick. Mayor Tenema's suit, It what? It was designed personally by me. I was worried my work of art might get blood on it. This man clearly has his priorities in order. Okay, let's get this over with, shall we? Now, where was I? Oh yeah, so I entered the fox chamber almost without thinking. But I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left.
Hold it!
Why didn't you enter it right away? And ruin my designer shoes. Your shoes. Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous footwear. It sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated.
Objection!
That's terrible. A man was dying and another injured, and you're worried about your shoes?
Silence!
Need I remind you, this is a court of law. We are not teaching morality here. We have schools of etiquette and the like for such trivial pursuits. Gah. Now you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it. Yes, well, I was there in the fox chamber, but... I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there.
Hold it!
Wait a second. Why'd you hide yourself? Oh my, so you do understand. I do? By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous beauty, which, for the sake of the universe, It's something I should never ever do. That's what you were thinking, right? It's like a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand. We can deliberate this mental process another time. Get on with the testimony, now. Well, regarding the murder scene, when I saw there up close, it was absolutely horrifying.
Hold it!
Could you describe the crime scene in a bit more detail? What exactly would you like details about? What I'd like to ask you about is... Could you describe the state of the weapons that had been used at the scene? The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Cuby. Then there was that statue the alderman used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. That incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor. Alright, the statue, but why would he find it inspiring? Why exactly did you find the statue inspiring? Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like a celebration of union between town and village, an inspiring symbol of goodwill. How can a statue next to a bloody corpse? Real inspiring. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider his statement to be of any importance? Not yet. Not yet. No, Your Honor. The witness may proceed. Alright then. I would just like to add that if it was terribly a grisly scene, as I described. I'm gonna go back.
Hold it!
Could you please describe the Forbidden Chamber at the time? It was shut tight until the mayor opened it. It's really trying to stress that it was the mayor who opened the Forbidden Chamber. It's that big liar, he opened it himself. Well, if looks could bell, or if looks could kill, a bell would be toast. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider a statement to be of any importance? I have a feeling it is. Let's add it to the testimony just in case.
Hold it!
In a sense, yes, but it could be seen as a lie. Wait, so you admit it? In this world riddled with deceit, my beauty is the only self-evident truth. That is to say, all else except me is but fiction and lies. The nerve of this guy, his testimony is riddled with lies. Guess I won't be getting anything useful out of the statement. Also have to double press.
Hold it!
Oops. Knocked by both today, could he really have opened the Forbidden Chamber in that state? Well, it did seem difficult. He was all woozy and stumbling around as he opened it. It was such a heroic effort that I nearly started to cheer him on despite myself. I think the mayor needed medical attention more than a cheerleader. Blah blah blah, he was... What do you remember about the yokai feathers and tracks? They resulted when Tenmataro exited the Forbidden Chamber. He came out in quite a rush, scattering the feathers this way and that. Did you immediately know it was Mr. Filch? I did, and that's why I suggested we cook up our alibis together. How did those practice sessions go? They were nearly the death of me. Filch has to be the worst student ever. Doesn't really think he's done anything wrong, does he? Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider a statement to be of any importance? No.
Hold it!
Stench had fallen to the floor. It was a token of goodwill celebrating the municipal merger.
Hold it!
Token of goodwill. Are you referring to the Fox and Demon statue? Yes, the statue the alderman allegedly used to strike back at Mayor Tenma. Mayor trampled down municipal goodwill only to be clobbered by its symbol. It's quite ironic, don't you think? That's what the symbol of goodwill was transformed to a symbol of conflict.
Objection!
You wouldn't have been able to see it, would you? Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. LaBelle. What possibly could you mean? You said the statue was like a celebration of union between town and village. Isn't that correct? It is indeed. But what of it? The two yokai are joining hands in goodwill, as if they were celebrating the municipal merger. Something the matter? So how did you really know that the statue was meant to be a symbol of goodwill again? What? Justice Dono, explain yourself. Make it quick. The statue was meant to symbolize goodwill in its original form, but that was a secret. A secret? Whatever do you mean? What I mean is that it broke when someone used it to strike Mayor Tenma on the head. This left clearly makes it look like the two yokai are battling it out. Such a secret is true form were lost inside that locked room. For Miss Tenma is the only living soul who should know what it once looked like. So, Mr. LaBelle, where could you have possibly seen the statue in its original form? What do you mean, where? The only possible answer is this. You saw the statue in its original form, right there in the room where the alderman was murdered before it was broken. How dare you? Mr. Justice, are you accusing the witness with some sort of crime? Yes. Yes, I am. Florent LaBelle, I accuse you in the murder of Alderman Rex Cuby. Order, order! Mr. LaBelle, you've been accused of a murder. Do you have anything to say in your defense? How could you possibly accuse me, the embodiment of beauty? Way to go, Apollo. This is the conclusive evidence we needed. Magnifico. We've got you now. We know you killed the alderman. Now admit it.
Silence.
I knew it. It wasn't gonna be easy. Enough of your silly games, Justice Dono. This prancing peacock cannot possibly be the killer.
Objection!
What are you talking about? His alibi has already crumbled to dust. And I just proved that he was in the Fox chamber while it was still locked tight.
Silence.
Why could he have not seen the statue in its true form before the murder? After all, he was close friends with the alderman. Ergo. Yes, it's right. I clearly remember it now. Alderman QB told me about it. What did the statue actually look like? I mean, he was a good friend of mine.
Objection!
Yeah, right. He would show you a secret gift just like that.
Silence.
Moreover, it has already been proven that he was not present at the scene of the crime. It has? Forgotten, have we? Recall the little scamp statement, if you will. When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox Chamber, she saw the alderman and mayor collapse therein, and no one else. Oh. Dang it. It's my favorite rich conservative, Laurent Fabel. How's it going, newbie? How you doing? Fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Quick question, newbie. How much longer for the rest of this, crime, the session, court? Thus, Laurent Labelle could not have possibly have been locked in that room. Or been in that locked room. No! I just don't get it. How could Jinxie have not seen LaBelle? Proof is incontrovertible. No room for debate exists. Am I not right, your baldness? It does seem awfully conclusive. Facts point to defendant and victim being the only people in that locked room. Moreover, the defendant has already confessed.
Objection! Silence.
Didn't even let him speak. You cannot defend the indefensible. Your role in this charade is over, Justice Dono. But this last witness, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I know, but sometimes like the witnesses take a long time, and I just want to make sure on that. Your baldness. This trial would last an eternity if we were to keep crossing blades with these simpletons. It's high time you brought down the hammer of justice. Okay, newbie, I appreciate that. Point well made. I believe it's time to declare a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma. Caw! It would seem that my time is at hand. Mayor Tenma. Counselor, there's a matter to which I must testify. I recall it now for only your good graces. Counselor? Alright, you must mean me. Has he finally remembered what happened before that blow to his head? Bailiff, just don't just stand there, seize him. It's no good, I can't restrain him. Ah, know me in despair. About 30 more minutes? Okay. For I am Tenmataro, demon lord of the yokai. Mr. Justice, do something. Since when am I responsible for court security? Oh, this is our chance. We might get some new information out of him. Your Honor, seeing as our client has something new to say, I believe due process demands that we hear him out, even if he is a yokai. When you put it that way. Still, I believe testimony by a yokai is unprecedented in the legal world. Unprecedented in absurdity, more like. I forgot to ask Numi, how you doing? Alright then, Mr. Damien Tenma. Or should I Mr. Tenma Taro? Your testimony, please. I shall now speak of recollections most real, courtesy of my host Damien Tenma. Heed these words, mortals, for hear them but once you shall. Caw! The ruler of demonkind. Uh-oh. Barely conscious was Damien there amidst the darkness. Suddenly, two yokai did appear. On one side I, Tenmataro, ruler of demonkind. And on the other, my mortal enemy, the nine-tailed fox. What? So is the defendant discerning that the room he was in was very dark at the time? Strange as it may be, yes, indeed. All was in darkness. And the part about Tenmataro and the nine-tailed fox being there? Yes, that too. Tenmataro towered overhead and the nine-tailed fox glittered gold. I call animal abuse, Your Honor. It seems the defendant's recollections are not to be trusted. Yes, well, truth be told, my host's recollections are still a bit fuzzy. As if half dreamt, that happening lingers in his mind. Sorry, that. Apollo, maybe I can help here. Really? Oh, you mean... Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart. I sensed an unusual emotion in the mayor's memory of the event. Okay, I just hope our findings don't come back to haunt us. Again. Why was he happy to see the nine-tailed fox? Sounds like Mayor saw the same thing as shown on the scroll. What's with those Tenmas in the yokai vision? I think it's sweet how father and daughter can share something like that. I don't think shared nightmare really qualifies as sweet. Anyway, all I need to do is point out an unnatural reaction like last time. Right, look for places where an emotion conflicts with a testimony. That conflict usually indicates a thought or emotion that is being suppressed.
Got it!
When the nine-tailed fox appeared, you not only experienced shock and sadness, but also something like joy as well. Joy, Perhaps it was joy at the light coming to my eyes at long last. Along a terrible creaking did pierce the silence. And then there was light. On reflection, it was a door that did produce that infernal racket. A creaking door. It must be talking about the forbidden chamber door. It does make a lot of noise. So this means the forbidden chamber really was opened. But what about the sudden light he described? I think I know. Mentioned darkness and Tenmataro towering overhead. Maybe the mayor wasn't really in the fox chamber at the time of the crime. Mr. Mayor, did the darkness that you were in happen to be here?
Take that!
The forbidden chamber? Was it not the Fox Chamber where the murder did occur? Yes, but it all makes sense if you were in the Forbidden Chamber. The terrible creaking sound was probably the Forbidden Chamber's door opening. And the towering Tenmataro you saw? Most likely the Forbidden Chamber statue. Why, yes. That will explain it. The darkness and the staff of the demon's grasp. But even if all that's true, then what about the nine-tailed fox? Maybe he was seeing things? Just like Jinx in her nightmare yokai, her imaginary yokai? Fantastico, Apollo. It's entirely possible. In a groggy, dreamlike state, people can misremember things and events. Misremember, you say? Let me think. I do believe I remember now. That was not the nine-tailed fox. It was the amazing Ninetales. What? The amazing Ninetales? At first, this is but a dream, I thought. Now, however, most clearly do I recall it. It was the amazing Ninetales who did open the Forbidden Chamber's door. I'm sorry I asked. The amazing Ninetales? But that was the victim, Alderman Cubey, what, right? And why would he open the Forbidden Chamber? Wasn't he trying to keep it sealed? Never mind that. This is completely new information. Let me enter it and run an update. Why would he be sad about being rescued? And the amazing Ninetales opened the chamber, banishing the darkness within. You felt joy, but didn't you also feel shock and sadness? Yes, in the hazy depths of my mind, I do recollect something of that nature. I believe it was the Fiend's Cape of Red. For when I did behold it, a great wave of sadness did inexplicably wash over me. A cape of red? Well, we've reduced the noise level. Oh, but there's still a little lift. Mayor Tenma, why were you sad when you saw the red cape? Why indeed? What could this mean? Guess his memory is still a little spotty. Not because his latest recollection contradicts the evidence. Yeah, it's one of those contradictions that slaps you right across the face. Something this obvious could arise. Someone's trying to force a fuzzy memory into a definitive shape. Apollo, I know what you have to do. You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see. Oh, so it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination process. Okay, time to review the evidence. Like all contradiction, here comes justice.
Objection!
I was trying to figure out which one to do. You said the amazing Ninetales cape was red. Are you sure about that? Yes, well, I do believe it was red cape I saw, but... Mayor Tenma. Does this cape look red to you? Oh, that certainly does not look red. Not even a scarlet or crimson either. Nevertheless, upon my liberation, something red did fill my as yet hazy field of view. And I thought to myself, Amazing Ninetales is arrayed in a cape of red. So he mistook that red something for his cape, huh? Apparently so. And remembering it now brings a great sadness upon me. So the red something probably wasn't a cape after all. Maybe that great sadness he mentioned is what's interfering with his memory. Well, he would have seen the fox chamber behind the Amazing Ninetales. What red object could he have seen there that would have been that shocking? I know, could it have been... Mr. Mayor, was the red thing you saw this?
Take that!
Something red that could produce a deep sadness. Could it be, Mr. Tenma, that what you saw was the alderman's blood? Blood? Why, yes, it was blood. Arrgh. It's all coming back to me now. It wasn't a red cape that I saw. It was, lying behind the Amazing Ninetales, the alderman's bloody body. Eek! Hi, Eileen. Sorry. Kitty demanding attention. Snoring level is down to 0. I think he's remembering everything now. Does this mean the Amazing Ninetales killed Alderman Kyobi? But the Alderman was the Amazing Ninetales, so how exactly would that work? Yeah, I asked you first. Well, Mr. Justice, you sure know how to make a complicated matter even more complicated. True, but at the time of the crime, our client was in the Forbidden Chamber. Moreover...
Silence!
Boy, don't you think this is strange? The little scamp has already confirmed her father to be in the Fox Chamber. But she said not about seeing the Amazing Ninetales there. Ugh, you just had to bring that up, didn't you? Jinxie didn't see LaBelle there either. It's so weird. Who really was in that room then? Will the defense care to share any theories with the court? Can you explain the inconsistency between the defendant's testimony and his daughter's? I'm going to assume yes. Yes, of course. I can explain it. Because if I don't, we're in serious trouble. Not with more of your bluffs and fairy tales, I trust. Fair warning, Justice Tono. I shall have your head if you fail to explain this. What about a good old-fashioned penalty? Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders. First of all, Mr. LaBelle was definitely in the Fox Chamber while it was locked. We also know that Mayor Tenma was in the Forbidden Chamber based on his testimony. These two facts are crucial to my explanation. So let us consider the following question. If the fact points to Florent LaBelle and the victim being there at the scene, why did Jinxie Tenma see the victim and her father, Mayor Tenma? Very good question indeed. I suppose you have an answer for us? Sadly, you would be supposing wrong. You think she could have mistaken LaBelle for the mayor? Well, if she did, then the question is, why did she do that? Well, how about that explanation, Mr. Justice? I believe the time for questions is over. The defense asserts that Florent LaBelle was at the scene of the crime. However, Jinxie Tenma has testified that she saw her father collapse there. If she has in fact misremembered the event, what could have made her do so? LaBelle would have had to be disguised as Tenma, I believe. The figure Miss Tenma saw was not her father. It was Florent LaBelle disguised as Damien Tenma.
Silence.
As a complete impossibility. The faces are utterly unalike. How could you explain that away with a mere disguise? Yes, they do have incredibly distinctive faces. Maybe the disguise completely hid his face? I think Jinxie would have mentioned it if she couldn't see her father's face. And if it was that sort of disguise, wouldn't she have removed it? Alright. Your sword is as dull as your mind, Justice Dono. Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of? I think I'll pass. Are you okay, Apollo? I'm not fine, am I? Well, now that we have that little fairy tale out of the way. Your boldness, your verdict, if you will. Mr. Justice, I believe it's time for a verdict if you have no further arguments. What's even left for me to do? Apollo, remember what Mr. Wright always says. You're stuck in a tight spot, turn the case upside down. Turn the case upside down? He does say that, doesn't he? I don't quite see how it applies here. Still, never hurts to give it a try, I guess. Let's see. Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe she couldn't talk about it. The wrestler's mask is more precious than his own life. He never unmask himself in front of others. But there are matches where wrestlers battle for the right to remove each other's masks. To have your mask torn off is the worst humiliation a wrestler could suffer. That's why their masks are more important to them than life itself. And what about the fact that it was the Amazing Ninetales who opened the door? Mask that can't be removed in front of others? So... is Damien Tenma Taro... or Damien Tenma the thing? Amazing Ninetales? We got it all backwards. Apollo? I think we may have made a huge mistake. Your baldness. I see no need to further indulge them in their silly little farce. The defense has no proof. They never did and never will. Then it seems I must announce my verdict.
Objection!
I do have proof. Do you now? Alright, but this better be good, Mr. Justice. We can solve the remaining riddles by turning all of our assumptions upside down. Why Jinxie Tenma mistook Mr. LaBelle for her father? Why she couldn't remove the costume, or tell anybody about it in the first place? These riddles are inextricably linked to Mayor Tenma's secret identity. A shocking secret identity that will turn the entire premise of this case upside down. This piece of evidence clearly reveals Mayor Tenma's secret identity. And he is... God. What an absolute claptrap. Poppycock. Balderdash. He's English. We thought the alderman was the amazing Ninetails, and the mayor was Tenmataro. That's why we believe the mayor killed the alderman in his lust for Ninetails' veil. And it was the basis for the prosecution of the entire case against our client. British. However, we got the whole thing backwards. Mayor Tenma wasn't Tenmataro at all. He was the amazing Ninetails. What's this? Sorry. You'd best explain yourself, Justice Dono. And from where you derive such a far-fetched conclusion. Jinxie no doubt knew the true identity of the amazing Ninetails. But she couldn't tell anybody no matter what. That's why she didn't say the amazing Ninetails saw... That's why she didn't say it was the amazing Ninetails she saw passed out. Even though, unbeknownst to her, it was really Florent LaBelle in disguise.
Silence.
The accused and that delightful dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. Little Scamp would have seen the difference.
Objection!
Remember, Mr. LaBelle has his very own brand of cosmetics. Why couldn't he fake a different build too? Anyone speaking through a mask would naturally sound different.
Silence.
Why did she not simply pull the mask off?
Objection!
A masked wrestler's disguise is more precious than life itself. A huge fan of the amazing Ninetails, she would never dare unmask him. Gah. This case of mistaken identity also explains the riddle of the locked room. Then by all means, Mr. Justice, answer it for us already. First, Mr. LaBelle entered the room where the mayor and alderman were talking. I suspect he brought with him coffee laced with some sort of sedative. Once the alderman was out cold, that's when Mr. LaBelle killed him. Next, he took the mayor, we had also drugged, into the Forbidden Chamber. He then returned to the Fox Chamber, slept into some of the mayor's spare clothes. He completed his disguise by donning the amazing Ninetails mask. With his entire charade in place, Mr. LaBelle then let out a scream. The scream that led Jinxie Tenma to the scene. Ah, so then... the person who said, I killed Alderman QB was... Yep, that was Florent LaBelle in disguise. The mayor never actually confessed.
Silence.
This is no more than guesswork and speculation. Now stop your jabbering and...
Objection!
No, you twisted samurai. This time you stop your jabbering and let me finish making my case. What a fucking put in your place moment. Once Miss Tenma had left the scene, Mr. LaBelle, still wearing the mayor's clothes and mask, opened the Forbidden Chamber, so he could drag the mayor back out into the Fox Chamber. Oh, so the amazing Ninetails the mayor saw was... right, it was LaBelle opening the Forbidden Chamber. The second time Mr. LaBelle opened the door to the Forbidden Chamber, he happened to catch the thieving Mr. Filch by surprise. Startled, Mr. Filch in his Tenmataro disguise ran as fast as he could away from the room. As he did, he left behind him a trail of feathers and tracks, and gave Miss Tenma the scare of her life in the hallway. With no one left to witness the events that had occurred, Mr. LaBelle then proceeded to drag the sleeping mayor back into the Fox's chamber. I see, well that all certainly does make sense. Then after dragging the mayor back into the Fox chamber, Mr. LaBelle threw the mask out the window and fled the room.
Silence.
For this absurd theory to work, it requires that the defendants be the Amazing Ninetales. However, he was the one pushing for the municipal merger. Such an individual could possibly be the Amazing... Or such an... That such an individual could possibly be the Amazing Ninetales is preposterous.
Objection!
The mayor was blackmailed into pursuing the merger. Miss Tenma's life would be in danger if he had openly voiced his opposition. That's why he created a secret identity as the Amazing Ninetales. Ah, this is madness. No one could possibly hatch such an insane plot. No one except the killer as insane as his plot, and I'd say Florent LaBelle more than qualifies. Foolish mortal. It is at your own peril that you forget who I am. Mayor Tenma, it's okay now. Jinxie will be safe just as soon as Mr. LaBelle is arrested. You are the Amazing Ninetales, aren't you? Florent LaBelle, I'm guessing? You have quite the active imagination. Mayor Tenma is not the Amazing Ninetales.
Objection!
What do you mean? Well, has the mayor admitted to it yet? But that's just... And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now. What? Why, you would dare reveal the secret? My good friend the Alderman told me all about it. But it wouldn't be good to expose the truth. What with the superstitions now, would it? The truth behind Tenma Taro? What's he talking about? Go ahead and say it. Say, I am the Amazing Ninetales. I dare you.
Objection!
Wait. Someone please explain what's going on here. Mayor Tenma will do anything to keep the truth behind Tenma Taro a secret. A dark, terrible truth that has been kept secret by the village superstitions. And if the mayor admits to being the Amazing Ninetales, you'll expose the truth? Right, I won't have him walking free because of some nonsense you made up. So what now, Justice Dono? Without the mayor's admission, your theory is as useless as you are in battle. I'll show you who's useless. Apollo, don't you dare give up now. I know. Your Honor, I believe Mr. LaBelle's statements warrant a thorough cross-examination. After all, the true identity of the Amazing Ninetales is the cornerstone of this case. You do have a point here. Please answer this quote, Mr. LaBelle. Is the defendant the Amazing Ninetales or not? The Amazing Ninetales' true identity is not Mayor Tenma. The mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense. But if he did admit to such nonsense, I will expose the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now. And that would bring ruin upon Ninetales Vale, just as the superstitions say. Talk about out of the pot and into the fire. At this rate, the mayor will be found guilty for sure. Honestly speaking, if Mayor Damien Tenma is not the Amazing Ninetales, I'm afraid I don't see how the defense has much of a case here. Well, let's just leave it at that, shall we? We all know the Alderman Kyobi was the Amazing Ninetales anyway. I mean, that's how Ninetales Vale made a comeback. The Alderman was so popular. There's gotta be a hole in that testimony. I saw it. I think it was the secret. If we can expose the secret, and suppose that Filch's grandfather did it, then, because it would have been like the Tenmas stole the gold or something like that. I don't even know where to start. Since we don't have any proof that the mayor is the Amazing Ninetales, then we'll just have to get him to admit it himself. But if he admits it, LaBelle's going to expose the secret behind Tenemataro. We're so close, I know it. Defense may cross-examine the witness. I'm going to press anyways just to check.
Hold it!
It's maybe my least favorite case of DD, but it's really good towards the end. Okay. I've been enjoying it so far. Like, besides this asshole, I don't think there's a character I outwardly hate. This whole case only makes sense if the mayor is Amazing Ninetales. I know he used his mask to create this illusion of a locked room murder.
Silence!
Nothing more than idle speculation. You have no evidence now, have you?
Objection!
Mr. LaBelle knows what the statue originally looked like. That means he had to be in the Fox Chamber while it was still locked tight. Sorry, but I heard about the statue from Alderman Cuby. If you don't believe me, just ask him. Oh, but what's that? The Alderman's dead. Looks like the joke's on you, my sweaty little friend. Paul, you mind if I wring his neck? Wait in line because I'm going first. Temper, temper. Anyway. Mayor would never admit to such utter nonsense.
Hold it!
The only nonsense here is this court is you and your assertions. Tisk tisk. Such anger is terrible for the skin, you know. Beauty is like a flower that blooms forth from a serene heart. Excuse me? I wouldn't expect a wilted peasant like you to understand. Perhaps his fragrance will help the blossom within you bloom. Yeah. You liked that, didn't you? Enough jabbering about blossoms and whatnot. Get on with your testimony before I slice you into a bouquet of cut flowers. Oh dear, please excuse me. As I was saying, the assertion of our wilted attorney here is utter nonsense. But if you did admit to such nonsense, you'd be arrested, wouldn't you? Yes, it's true. I would be sacrificed upon the altar of justice despite my innocence. But what a terrible loss would it be for the future of humankind's cosmetic needs. It's a tragedy that must be averted. Defend me if you understand this.
Silence!
The only terrible loss is the time wasted by your ceaseless yammering. If you would avert the tragedy awaiting you in that vexing visage of yours, then... Yes, I know, get on with my testimony. Anyway, suffice to say, should the mayor admit to the defense's nonsense, I will make good on my threat and... I will expose the truth behind Tenemataro right here and now. Just how did you learn of the so-called truth behind Tenemataro? Alderman Kyobi told me about it. Hey Luigi, how's it going? The secret of the Forbidden Chamber and the truth behind Tenemataro. Why would he share secrets like that with you, Mr. LaBelle? Because of the Alderman's wife. I was looking after her while she was hospitalized. He appreciated it so much, he shared his secrets with me. Wait, did he threaten the Alderman in addition to the mayor? Don't tell me that's how he learned of the Forbidden Chamber. Needless to say, I'm not above revealing the truth behind Tenemataro. And that would bring ruin upon Ninetales Vale. just as the superstitions say.
Hold it!
Do not gaze upon Tenmataro. Do not tell others if you see him. Isn't that what the village superstitions say? Exactly. Telling others what Tenmataro looks like would reveal the truth. That's why the superstitions were written down in the first place. And ruin coming to the village if you free him? Is that a warning not to expose the truth? Bingo. And that truth is, Tenmataro is a great greed-inspiring fortune. That's what the whole battle over Ninetales Vale is about. Tenmataro is a great fortune? Come to think of it. Only that it's the greatest get-rich-quick chance of the new universe. Grandpappy told me all about it. Said there's an amazing treasure in there. They already asked how you're doing, Luigi. How you doing, Luigi? Could Tenmataro actually be... Telling the villagers that Tenmataro is a terrifying yokai is what has scared them away from the forbidden chamber and the treasure within. That's how the treasure's been kept secret all this time. Well. It seems our ace attorney here has uncovered the truth that must not be revealed. Mayor Tenma looks like he wants to keep the truth hidden as much as I do. Tragedy is doomed to repeat itself as long as Tenmataro exists. That's why the secret must be protected. As long as Tenmataro exists, huh? Mr. LaBelle, please add that statement to your testimony. Tragedy is doomed to repeat as long as Tenmataro exists. But it does not!
Objection!
Mr. LaBelle, what if Tenmataro no longer existed? Revealing the truth would no longer be an issue, would it? If Tenmataro no longer existed. What on earth are you talking about? Well, apparently you haven't heard. Tenmataro no longer exists. I guess you didn't get to do a thorough search after the key was taken from you. Because when I searched for the Forbidden Chamber, there wasn't any treasure there. Really? Well, maybe if you weren't looking in the right place. Sorry, but I have proof that Tenmataro no longer exists. Take a look at this figure. What do we have here? Looks like some sort of creature. We found this in the Forbidden Chamber. It's an Azuki Kozo figure. The great thief Azuki Kozo used to leave them at the scene of his crimes. Are you suggesting that the Tenmataro had been stolen? Yep. Phineas Filch's grandfather, Master Thief, was the culprit. And by that hideous moronic caretaker's grandfather, no less? Can't but help but read LaBelle with a voice of Count. Yeah, I can see that. No! My beautiful golden Tenmataro was... The greed inspired by Tenmataro can no longer bring ruin upon Ninetales Vale. Isn't that right, Mayor Tenma? The root of tragedy would indeed seem to be gone. In fact, I now recall the alderman revealing the secret to me on the day of our meeting. He must have been speaking of Tenmataro. But he said to me the gold ingot was gone. The gold ingot? You mean the treasure is Tenmataro's true... You mean the treasure that is Tenmataro's true form? Recall, if you will, the scroll in the Forbidden Chamber. Tenmataro is the yellowish object sewn there. A giant gold ingot that my nomadic ancestors bestowed upon Ninetales Vale. In return for that gold, my ancestors did receive Ninetales Vale. And that would become Tenma Town. But drive the villagers mad with greed did that great fortune. Bitter was their greed-fueled battle. It was as if they were possessed. My ancestors' gold became a curse upon their village, a curse of ruin. That was a noise. Thus it would be that the yokai Tenmataro came to be. So Tenmataro and the village superstitions were merely fairy tales to scare people away. Fairy tale or not, Tenmataro made quite the mess of things. Yes, indeed. For there is no greater monster than a mortal man's lust for gold. Well, you know what they say. The love of money is the root of all evil. My ancestors did bring a terrible thing to Ninetales Vale. A thing so terrible that Tenmataro, monster just as terrible, had to be created to keep it a secret. Yet we have naught but love for the little village to which we owe our very existence. Tenma would never seek to take over the Ninetales Vale in a merger. Oh my, that was quite a shocking lesson in history. Mr. Mayor, now that we know that Tenmataro no longer exists, are you ready to admit your secret? You are the amazing Ninetales, aren't you? No, don't do it. Please, no. Be gone, you demented demon. Ahem. Now where was I? The Golden Lord of Yokai, the amazing Ninetales, is indeed me. And that means, Jinxie? Yes? The man wearing the mayor's clothes you saw collapsed in the fox chamber? Was he wearing the amazing Ninetales mask? Uh-huh. That's what made me think it was Papa. He said he was going to reveal his secret identity to Alderman Kyubi that day, so... So it really wasn't Papa that I saw in there, was it? It was Florence's idea from the start. He advised me to reveal my secret identity to the Alderman. Yeesh. Rube Goldberg machines have less elaborate setups than LaBelle's scheme. You may rest easy now, little Jinxie. That monster's deception is through. Caw! Oh, wait. The true facts behind this case have finally come to light. Mayor Tenma did not kill Alderman Kyubi. But Florent LaBelle did. How dare you? Peasant. No.
Silence.
Justice Dono. You should at least have a real blade in your hands if you desire to cross swords with me. Or have you mistaken this battlefield for a training ground? What's this guy want now? Evidence is like a razor-sharp blade that cuts through bone as that they were butter. But you have only blind guesses. A dull blade incapable of cutting even a cake. He has you there, Mr. Justice. After all, evidence is everything in a court of law. But... they're right, let's see some evidence. Of course, a perfect being like me wouldn't leave any incriminating evidence behind. This is the final battle. Just as a samurai must live and die by the sword, you will live or die by the evidence you hold. My swift blade of judgment awaits. Now present your conclusive evidence, or don't you have any? Oh crud, do I have anything conclusive? I just was looking through it. Did I see anything? Of course I do. Evidence? Oh, I have evidence. You do? Of course. It's just the conclusive evidence we need too. I'm going to finally prove Mayor Tenma innocent. Here comes justice. Let's review the facts. The most damning evidence against the mayor was the crime scene itself. The mayor and the victim were the only two people found in the room. Also, we all thought the alderman was killed because he was the Amazing Ninetales. But as we know now, of course, we were way off. Amazing Ninetales is really Mayor Damien Tenma. That's why when the daughter Jinxie saw that's why when his daughter Jinxie saw the Amazing Ninetales collapse at the scene, she mistook him for her father. Those are the facts we've revealed. I like this song. However, Mr. LaBelle asserts that he did not leave any evidence at the scene of the crime. But he didn't say anything about evidence outside the crime scene. Maybe he isn't as clever as he thinks he is. It would have to be the Amazing Ninetales mask because it would have been evidence of his hair or something inside of it. You can't fail this part? Okay, thank you. Oh, I know. The Amazing Ninetales mask. It was found washed up along the river. What sort of clue does that mask hold? There's white hair inside of it. What about the hair left in the mask? Who does it belong to? Alright, that hair is Florent LaBelle's. Yes, now that's what I call conclusive evidence. Brain blast. Well, Mr. Justice? Do you have any conclusive evidence to present to this court? Of course I do. Observe this mask, if you will. The mask. How is that conclusive evidence? It's not the mask itself, but the white hair inside it. We originally thought it belonged to Alderman Rex Guby. Yes, but the Amazing Ninetales, as we know now, is Mayor Tenma, so... That is correct. So the question is, whose hair could this be? And the answer to that is the last person to have worn it before it was discarded. That would be you, Mr. Florent LaBelle. There were too many lights, not enough toasting. Then go. Is nobody playing Flamethrower? What are you talking about? I never had hideous white hair like that.
Silence.
It would appear your coup de grace failed to hit its mark. This freakish fop is not the white-haired type, because he's busy being one ludicrously garish color or another. Fuck, I can't say that word.
Objection.
Well, I just tried. No, Prosecutor Blackwell, it is you who has made a fatal error. What? Remember where this mask was found? It was washed up by the side of the river. With that in mind, this last piece of evidence will solve all the remaining riddles.
Take that.
Ah, that's... What is that? This is Mr. LaBelle's own private brand of hair color. It washes out with just water. The court will also recall that the Amazing Ninetales mask washed up along the side of the village river with the white hair inside it. What's this? Are you saying that the printing peacock's hair color is... That's exactly what I'm saying. Mr. LaBelle's hair color is a freaky work of fiction. Thanks to the river flowing through Ninetales Vale, we now have a real-life expose. Alright. The white hair in this mask is conclusive evidence proving you're the real killer. A DNA test is all we need to prove it, and we both know we'll get a match. Ah! Ow! Ah! Fucking dumbass cat! Ow! Ah! Fucker tried to jump up on me, completely missed, and then drove his claws into my fucking leg. Ow! Oh yeah, bleeding for sure there. Ow! Sorry guys, give me a second. Fuck, that hurt. This is why you wear jeans and not cargo shorts? I wear jeans all damn day at work, and I'm just wearing track pants right now. Alright, I think I'm okay. I was just checking for blood and shit. There is some blood, but not a lot. So it should stop soonish. Admit it. Morton LaBelle, you were the one who killed Alderman Rex Cuby. You peasants. How dare you? You profane my... This is the end now? Thank you. I have no idea, Gumbo. Hello? This is LaBelle. What? Project is off? This is LaBelle. The sponsors have pulled out. LaBelle speaking. I'm fired. You mean I'm no longer to Mayor Tenma's aide? Hello, this is LaBelle. What? There's a stratospheric damages claim against me. $100 million. Wow. $100 million. Hey. I'm finished. Washed up. Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Jesus, he's old. This is preposterous. I, Simon Blackwell, defeated? Order, order, order in the court. Well, this is quite the unexpected outcome. I must hand it to you, Mr. Justice. You really turned this case on its head, just like that other lawyer, Phoenix Wright. Wait, that was a compliment, right? Prosecutor Blackwell, what have you done with Florent LaBelle? The defaced man has withered like a flower without water. One of the officers is currently tending to him with a sprinkler. Wouldn't that just wash even more of his makeup off? Allow me to explain the actions of the guilty party in detail. The motive, of course, was to steal the gold ingot known as Tenmatara. However, few are allowed into the manor due to its cultural ties to Ninetales Vale. LaBelle set in motion a plan to gain access to the manor and the gold within via the merger. The efforts of the amazing Ninetales saw those plans come to a halt. And thus LaBelle murdered the alderman and attempted to pin the blame on Mayor Tenma. I see. What I still can't comprehend is why you would go after the gold in the first place. Mr. LaBelle doesn't look like someone who is in need of financial aid. Oh, thanks. They hydrate. So, Soda. LaBelle hid his past well, much like he did his beauty with makeup. He's mired in debt. Debt due to pouring money into a brand only he could love. Which is why he sought the gold with such veracity. Too bad for him. Someone else had gotten to it first anyway. I see. Very well then. I believe it's time I declared a verdict. This court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma. Get your not guilties ready, chat. Not guilty. I fucking love that emote. Court is adjourned. I appreciate you being doing a not guilty newbie. That was some seriously good lawyering, Apollo. Even I didn't see that coming. Just got lucky, I guess. You banished Tenma Taro from Ninetales Vale like you were some kind of exorcist. There's still one thing I don't understand. How come Mr. LaBelle didn't kill Mayor Tenma too? He could have set it up so the mayor murdered the alderman then died from a counterattack. That would have removed at least one possible fly from the ointment. I was wondering about that too. But I have a hunch LaBelle was biding his time. He was planning on exposing the Amazing Ninetales' true identity himself. Huh? But why? Because the mayor was the Amazing Ninetales. Had LaBelle succeeded in framing Mayor Tenma for the alderman's murder, the wrestler's popularity would have plummeted once his identity was revealed. Oh, I get it. If the Amazing Ninetales was just killed, he'd die a hero, but if he was proved a villain, his fans would abandon him, making the merger that much easier. Right, then when the merger was complete and everything cooled down, he'd be able to search the Forbidden Chamber at his leisure. What an insanely intricate plot. Ah! A most excellent job clearing my name. A feat worthy of the Demon Lord's approval. Why are you acting like Tenma Taro again? Let this be of no concern to you. How could it not concern me? Tenma Taro, be gone. Jinxie. Seems like ages since I've laid eyes on you. Papa, you're finally back. Yes. It would seem Tenma Taro is no match for you. I'm not scared of that silly yokai anymore. Your father's a free man now, Jinxie. Isn't that great? Thank you for all you've done. Seeing you guys in action, it made me feel like I don't have to be afraid anymore. Wait, is Jinxie actually smiling? This is all thanks to you two. Too bad the Amazing Ninetales will have to retire, though. Aw, how come? Once everyone hears I'm the Amazing Ninetales, my fan base will nosedive. After all, I'm not the most popular of people. Another reason my secret identity. I don't see how it could possibly continue. I think you've misjudged yourself. Take a look outside. Say now that you mention it. What's all that noise out there? A big crowd gathered just outside the courthouse once the news broke. Seems they want to get a glimpse of Mayor Damien Tenma, the man behind the mask. And to root for your return to the wrestling ring. Rooting? For me? But I thought it was nothing more than a malefactor in their eyes. The only one who really matters is Jinxie. Show her how cool you really are. Yeah, you're the coolest when you're out there fighting in the ring, Papa. Jinxie. Here, I think you'll be needing this. My prosecutor's badge.
Take that!
Why would I need this? Because if you wear it, your fans will come flocking to see you in action. Paul, that's not what you're supposed to return to him. Huh? Oh, right. Could I have been any less cool? Oh. This is what we have to give back to Mayor Tenma. Alright, the Amazing Ninetales mask. Here you go, sir. I'm just gonna reload, just in case there's an achievement or something.
Take that!
Thank you. Now if you'd excuse me. I don't want to keep my fans waiting. DD being the most handled. Yeah, I was kind of upset about that one. But I mean, it's the end. It's not too miffin.
Ninetales forever!
Spirit of Justice will castrate me again. Oh boy, I can't wait. I sure hope they can settle the problems between Tenma Town and Ninetales Vale. Me too. I'm sure they'll be fine. After all, the blackmailer / killers behind bars and the merge is no longer an issue. Plus, the Amazing Ninetales is obviously still a hit. And I suspect Ninetales Vale will be too. And it's all because we believed in our clients. Just like you said. Okay, people. Now that we've caught that one in the bag, let's go out and get something to eat. I'm starving. Sounds good. I've been so nervous I haven't eaten since yesterday. Oh, fuck. I'll be right back. Alright. What the fuck is Vimo sending me? I'll have to watch afterwards. Better keep eating, Apollo. Or you might have to start looking up at me. Huh? I'm definitely past my growth phase, and you should be about past yours, too. Are you kidding me? I'm just getting started. Ready or not, it's face stuffing time. Keep being like that, and the only direction you'll grow is sideways. Very funny. But I've got a hollow leg. I can eat as much as I want without gaining an ounce. Really? Wow, I can't wait to see this. Calories, huh? Just let him try to stick to me. Alright already, you two. Let's get going before the old man closes shop. Alden's Noodles isn't an all-night stand, you know. They still go to that place? I'm with Mr. Wright, let's go. I've been waiting to have a bowl from there ever since Mr. Wright told me about them. Well, what are we waiting for? The rules are on me today, so I expect some serious eating from you two. How does Wright make so much money? Yay, thanks boss. I won't let you down. Athena has no idea what she's getting into. Mr. Alden's noodles are so hot and salty. 2 bowls would kill a man. Oh, thanks for hydrating. That was our first case together, and it felt like nothing would bring us down. The dark age of the law seemed so distant, so irrelevant to our small, cozy office. But little did I know that it had been lurking all along, right there behind us. The first time it made itself known was during the murder at Themis Legal Academy. A case would mark the twilight before the dark, cold night that was to come. Oh, that's fair, newbie. Yay. Alright. I'm done. Time to write out. The game gets really dark and fucked from here. I look forward to it. I don't see anybody to raid without a let me move for. So I'm just gonna call it here. Take care, everyone. Have a good night.